Tatiana Francis, and I'm a BCBA.
Hi, I'm Karina Valdez, and I am also a BCBA.
So we decided to start recording these videos because we know that a lot of parents and practitioners are struggling now that everything is being delivered via telehealth. You went from being in the clinic or having a clinician in your home to now working with your child directly, taking direction from someone on a computer screen. And we know that that can be difficult. So we wanted to share kind of what's helping us and what's working for us in our practice as BCBAs with other BCBAs, RBTs, and families.
So that being said, if there is any topics that you are seeing need to be addressed, any questions that you have or you have run into, reach out. We want to continue to collaborate and really create a safe learning environment so we can all grow as a community and just continue to disseminate and talk ABA. So that being said, let's talk ABA.
So our first topic today is going to be about structuring sessions. And so what that looks like and why that's important is because right now, like I said, parents are now in charge of running the session. So as a BCBA, as an RBT, when you're directing these sessions, by having your parents have a structure, it kind of alleviates the stress or pressure on them to come up with what they'll be doing in session. You will still be in charge of the session, you'll be leading it and helping them to perform the activities that you want the child to engage in. And so it's super helpful not only during session, but also for parents, because I am a parent myself, and with school being out and I'm still working, I use a picture schedule with my 5-year-old to have lots of different activities that he can complete while I'm busy working. And so he's learned what the schedule looks like, how to implement it himself, but it did take some teaching on my part. And again, this is not only for BCBAs and RBTs, it's also for parents who are at home with their children trying to figure out what to do. Again, why it's important? It's important because it's going to help us as practitioners lead the session for our child. And it's important as a parent because it can help us, again, lead and structure our day for our children.
Now, 3 of the different strategies that we're going to be talking about, or different methods that we utilize, is having visual schedules, having transition tools, and then also making sure that the activities that we are picking are appropriate for our children to gain access to that reinforcement to still have either successful sessions with our BCBAs or have a successful and just calm day if you're working from transitioning from shower time to breakfast, right? So again, those are the 3 topics that we're going to be utilizing.
So the one that I use personally with my child and the one that I recommend for younger learners is a picture icon schedule. So it's literally just pictures. So for instance, this is one that my son set up today. He had coloring, we had going outside, working on writing his ABCs, table work because he is receiving homework from school, Play-Doh, and then cleanup was the last one that we did today. I usually will take a dry erase marker because this is laminated and I'll write like 20 minutes or 30 minutes so that he knows he can set his timer himself and he knows when that activity ends. So this again is very useful for younger learners because they don't have to read it, even though it has the word. So maybe you have a child who's starting to learn how to read. You want to pair the word with pictures. This is a great example. And we will have the link to this down in the bottom below the video. So for learners who have not used one of these before, you want to work on activities that they already know. You don't want to use an activity that's brand new with the schedule that's brand new. So let's say every day they have snack time. Every day you read a story together. These are not new activities. And so these are perfect to put on your schedule so that they can learn, okay, snack time is paired with this picture. When this picture is gone, snack time is over. Reading time with mom before bed is paired with this picture, and they learn this picture means it's time to read. When it's over, you have them take it from the planned side and put it on the completed side, or whatever your visual schedule looks like. Some visual schedules, you just take it off and it's gone.
The second type of visual schedules that I want to talk about is more of a checklist style schedule. So for this type of schedule, I usually recommend that the child be more independent, that they have more tolerance for longer activities, and also that they have the ability to learn or read, right, and transition through the activity. So again, Usually it's used for learners that have more verbal skills. And then from there, we make sure that we set up the schedule with them. So we can start utilizing that low P, high P, right? So low probability behavior, like wanting to do homework. And then we transition to a high probability behavior, like playing with Play-Doh. And again, back to low P. So we want to make these transitions as successful as possible and making sure that they are appropriate for our learner that we are utilizing. So this is, again, like I said, it's a less intrusive way of a visual schedule. And it's kind of the in-between going from a visual or picture schedule to an agenda. As an adult, as a BCBA, as a parent, we are running around, or not right now because everybody's quarantined and staying safe, but we have a lot of activities. We want to make sure that our kids have appropriate support when needed. So this is why a checklist schedule is super useful.
When it comes to transitioning from activities on the visual schedule, one very useful tool is a timer. This is what I use for my son. He actually has his own timer that has a red little window that elapses as the time elapses, so he can see it visually and not just count down. And that will also be linked from Amazon if you're interested in something like that. But setting a timer definitely helps your child identify when the activity is over, instead of just, I mean, how many times have you said, okay, coloring is all done, and then you get tears and they're melting down and you'll never get to the next activity. So having them pair the end of an activity with the timer kind of alleviates you being the bad guy and ending the activity. The bad guy is now the timer. So you set your timer, and then I'll talk about priming. What priming is letting them know before the time is actually up. Before the timer rings, I'm going to give you a 5-minute warning. Okay, kiddo, we have 5 more minutes, and then it's on to outside time after 3 minutes. Okay, we have 3 more minutes, and then it's time to go outside. And then at the 1-minute mark, that kind of gives them the heads up that coloring is about to end, or whatever preferred activity they're engaging in is about to end, and they're going to be moving on to maybe a less preferred, maybe even more preferred, whatever the next item is on their schedule. And again, it takes it off of you. When that timer rings, you help them transition, and then they're on to the next activity.
Now, regarding transitions with a checklist schedule, you want to make sure that the activities you're setting are on the schedule have a clear beginning and end. So if we put homework on there, we know that homework may consist of 2 worksheets and a painting that we have to do. We set a timer because Play-Doh can go on for years and years and months and hours, right? So we set a time frame, 15 minutes. Now this is building on the skill of already using the timer. So we write it in and avoid, again, being the bad guy. We already put it on the schedule. We agreed on it. We already know what to do. And it's really important to teach the learner to come back and literally check it off their list. That is completed. Everybody in our field, or everybody I know, loves that to-do list, that negative reinforcement of getting something done. So maybe having that included can be helpful for them to know, I'm gaining to that super high probability behavior of playing a video game at the end of it. So you can also incorporate token systems or different methods to keep that engagement and use reinforcement appropriately to make sure that you're still having those successful either sessions for our practitioners, or just, again, daily activities like doing homework and dinner time.
Totally. And so just to circle back to make it hit home for practitioners, this is super helpful for you when you are running your session via telehealth. You can email the family ahead of time, let them know which activities that you want to work on, if they already have a picture schedule, or they have a whiteboard like Karina is showing, or if they just have a piece of paper, or whatever the family has to write out their schedule for the day. If they know ahead of time, it definitely, like I said, alleviates pressure on them. They know exactly what they'll be working on. They can have everything prepared. And you, as the leader of the session, You know what you're going to be working on. You're not looking at them like, what are we going to do today? Everyone is on the same page, and you guys are a united front to the child. And again, the family feels more supported because they're not having to come up with things on their own. They're not having to wait for you to decide what's going to happen after your hour or 2-hour session has already started. So being able to run your session via telehealth using a visual schedule is very, very helpful.
So now we're gonna do a little role playing and kind of show you how, as a BCBA, you could instruct and give the parents the information to have a successful session. And then also for those parents that are watching, it kind of gives you an idea of how to prepare to have a successful session. We wanna make sure that the time that we are able to invest in our children's therapy time right now is effective, it's fun, it's easy, and it's just a good learning environment instead of a constant fight. So just keep on watching. Good morning, Miss Francis. How are you guys?
We're great. How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, good work. So I just wanted to touch base with you really quick before we get started. I did send you that email last night. Were you able to look it over?
Yes, I saw that the plan for this morning is we're going to do coloring first, and then we're going to work on his writing goal, and then Play-Doh.
Perfect. And we are going to start utilizing that schedule that I attached just to
Okay.
help the transitions. So I do need you to set up that schedule to have those 3 activities in order. So
Okay.
first coloring, then writing, then Play-Doh at the end.
Okay.
Just to again give him that visual guidance. And then I do want to let you know before we get started that he did master out his 45 seconds of writing. So today we're going to shoot for 1 whole minute. But don't worry, I'll walk you through it. I know we're expecting some behavior, but we're going to take it 1 step at a time. So we're going to tackle that first activity. Let's go ahead and set the timer. And then when we're ready to end, let's go ahead and use that priming skills. So we'll prime at 1 minute, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, and then we end again to aid with transitions.
Perfect. Okay, so first we're going to color. Put that on your schedule. And then after coloring, we're going to write. Put it here. And then after writing, you get Play-Doh. Put it here.
Play-Doh right here.
Play-Doh's going to go right here.
Because it's so fun.
So, okay, is this right? We have coloring, writing, and then Play-Doh.
Perfect. Good job. That's wonderful.
All right, let's color. Okay, I'm going to set our timer for coloring.
For 20 hours.
We get...
And then mom, remember, we don't need to use the fancy timer. I usually recommend using your phone. You have it always on you. You can use it in the store, at the house, in the restaurant, so it's easier for them to recognize it.
Okay. All righty. So I do have my phone. I forgot to get a timer, so this is perfect. Okay, now it's time to color. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, let's color. What are we going to draw today?
Mario.
All right, let's draw Mario. And I have our timer going. We have 5 minutes. Okay, hurry. Let me see you color. Nice. Okay. Coloring is all done. Clean up coloring.
Okay.
Thank you.
That
Perfect. Good reinforcement, mom. Keep it up.
Okay, look. Finished coloring. Put it over here. Perfect. What's next?
writing.
Writing. Writing is next. Are you ready?
Yes. I'm going to write one.
All right, perfect. Let's start right here and write your lowercase letters.
Perfect. So mom, remember this time we are setting that timer for 1 minute. I know you might see some behavior, but the strategy that we're going to use is called the pre-map. So again, we're going to reference back to our schedule. So first, we're going to finish writing, and then we get Play-Doh. Okay, so that's just going to help him push through those next 15 seconds that we are working on today. Okay?
Okay. All right, let's keep going. A, B, C, lowercase d. This is hard. It's hard.
It's hard. It's hard.
Okay, I know it's hard, but look, first we're going to write, and then what do we get next?
Play-Doh.
First writing and then Play-Doh. Okay, go ahead. We have 15 seconds.
Seconds, that will be quick.
Keep going. Keep going. You got it. Now we're only down to 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Priming.
3. You're doing a great job. All right.
That was quick.
You did it. Look, you can take writing off. And what do you get next?
Play-Doh.
Play-Doh. Put it here for completed. We finished it. Play-Doh time.
Play-Doh. Play-Doh.
Yay, you did it.
5.
Play-Doh. Play-Doh.
You get
Can
5.
both of us play with Play-Doh?
Yes, I'll play with you. We get 5 minutes, okay?
Can you? I'm going to
I'm
use this.
starting the timer, okay?
Okay.
Perfect.
You're going to do the square.
That was awesome. Good work, Mom.
Thank
So again, I know that we did see that little bit of behavior, but using that pre-map principle, we went back to our schedule. And I'm not sure if you noticed, but at the end, he was happy to take away that little peck or the visual and put it to the completed side, right? So that negative reinforcement that we had talked about before comes into play. He's proud of finishing that activity, and it really helped them just follow through. That was awesome, awesome work. How do you feel?
I feel good about it. I was really nervous because usually when he doesn't want to engage in an activity anymore, the behavior is worse. But I think because he knew Play-Doh was coming next, he was more willing to do it.
Perfect. So again, we're going to keep utilizing the schedule. Let's go ahead and give him his 5 minutes. We already set the timer. Let's update our schedule so we know what's happening next.
Perfect.
Awesome.
My star. My star. My star.
Hey guys, again, we just wanted to show you an example of how you can utilize all these session tools, the visual schedule, the transition tools, to make sure that your clients and your families are supported and that they are able to just work through this difficult time.
And it's also a great example for parents who are at home with their kids all day. This will totally help you structure your day and help you to add activities throughout your day to keep you motivated, to keep your child motivated, to kick the boredom, and to just have, you know, good days since we're all stuck in the house right now.
And since we are all stuck in the house, let us know what you think might be helpful. What issues are you running into in the field? Let us know how we can help. We want to keep making content. We want to make sure that we support everybody as much as possible. So share with your clinician friends, with your RBTs, with whoever can benefit from this information. And then also contact us, comment, like, subscribe, whatever, because we're fancy YouTube people now, I guess. Yeah, just reach out to us. We're here to support you and just talk about ABA.